This is math with RHB, and we're looking at the third in a series of keywords that you're going to use or look for so that you know that it's multiply. So this is lesson 15 in the whole group, and I think I'm going to have to use a different marker because this one's not showing up very well. Keywords for word problems, and we're talking about multiplication. Whenever you have word problems, it gets really dicey when people don't know what they're reading. They can read perfectly, but by the time they're done the question, they still don't understand what equations they need to solve so that they can solve the whole problem. So we're going to take a look at the words that you use just for multiply. You're looking at words like product, times, of, this is a big one, of, bring this down a little bit, how many, how much, multiply, we'll actually use the word multiply, doubled, in all. Those are the key ones, and we've left space here. If you find any more, you add them in to your chart, and then you have them. So I'm going to take this away. We're going to try some examples. Where am I here? So we have the first example. First one we're looking at is Martin. Martin, who's covering his kitchen floor with linoleum. His kitchen measures 3 meters by 6 meters. And this is where math becomes universal. It doesn't matter whether you talk meters or feet or yards, miles, whatever it is. The mathematics is still going to be the same. You're just using a different unit of measure. In this case, it's metric, so we're doing 3 meter kitchen by a 6 meter kitchen. So how many square meters of linoleum does Martin have to buy or need to buy? We'll take a look at our group of words that tell us we need to multiply. So you're going to add them all up there. I'm going to hike the whole word problem away a little. So, how many? So you have the words how many and you have the word of in your question. And we have of how many. That usually tells you that you are going to be multiplying. So we have Martin. All right, the easy part is the math part. Now we're going to have to multiply 3 times 6. So 3 times 6, 18. So we need 18 square meters. So, using my ruler, my clear ruler, we're going to put that on the question, and we're going to underline all the words that we need to answer in a sentence. Alright? So we can just go right under Martin need to buy. Now obviously that's not a very good sentence because it's not correct, but it's easy to add little bits in. So our answer is going to be Martin needs, so we're going to put the S on, to buy 18 square meters. Of linoleum. And there's that word of. Second question. They've used it in word format. Find the product of 46 and 9. Product is the answer of a multiplication question. So if you have a double digit times a single digit. You write the double digit on the top, single digit goes underneath. You can do this in the calculator, but if it's on a test, they may want you to prove how you got your answer, show what operation you performed to be able to get the answer. So 46 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 5 is 41. So, again, what are we going to use to answer the question? If it's worth more than 1 mark, you need to figure out how to answer it correctly. The product, capital letter, the product of 46 and 9 is, and our answer is 414. And with a period, dot. I've made it extra large on the paper on the overhead. So that's 2 examples. We're going to take a look at a couple more. Take a look at the 3rd example. So we have a small restaurant, has 12 tables. If each table seats 4 people, in all, how many people can this restaurant accommodate? So we're looking at your key words. In all, how many? So we've got a couple of cues that tell us we need to multiply. Not exactly hard. This time, instead of using number form, I put the words out in word form. So we have 12 tables, and each table can seat 4 people. So we have 48. So what do we use for our sentence? We should be able to use part of this. It says, in all, how many people can this restaurant accommodate? This restaurant can accommodate. So we're going to use this word can, but we're going to switch its order a little bit. Alright, so I'm underlining can separately. This restaurant accommodate. So we're going to put it underneath. Let's see how we're doing here. This restaurant can, I'm going to steal that word and put it down here, accommodate. 2 C's, 2 M's, and accommodate. 48. And again, we're going to use this one too. People. Capital on the T, period at the end. This restaurant can accommodate 48 people. If you're not great at spelling, you're not good at word order, most of it's right in the sentence or the question itself. Next one. Last one for multiply. 4 friends. And 4 friends are, this here. 4 friends go to the movies. If the cost was $11 for each person, how much did it cost for all 4 friends to see a movie? So, this one's worded a little differently. It's not quite so obvious. We're going to take a look at some of the words. So, we've got how much, so we've got how many or how much did it cost for all 4 friends? Not much to go on in this case. Sometimes it's just a little bit of experience and you have to keep working at it. So we have 4 friends and it's $11. So that's $44 for all 4 friends to see the movie. That's not counting their popcorn or drinks or anything else. That's just your admission. So again, how do we put that in for a word problem? Sorry, I'm gonna tilt over just so I can make sure this is on the screen. Okay, yes it is. All right, so you have, okay, how much did it cost for all 4 friends to see a movie? For all 4 friends, for all 4 friends, to see a movie, it would cost $44. And capital at the beginning, period at the end, had to change the order of the words around. Okay, for all 4 friends to see a movie. Okay, they needed something to finish it. It would cost, $44. Word problems get very complex when you start talking, putting in a bunch of different combinations of operations. So that's BEDMAS again. So we're starting with the simple ones. We're going to do division. Division and multiply share some of the same wording. And it can be a little dicey at times. Sometimes you have to try things and find out, okay, that just doesn't make sense. And that's the other thing about estimating your answers, etc. Do you know whether you want a bigger number? Do you know if you want a smaller number? Should you get a bigger number or a smaller number? That's what you have to go with when you are doing some of your operations, so you can look at your answer and say, does that even make sense?